It all kicked off with a sly grin. Colin Jost live on Saturday Night Live stared straight into the camera and dropped a punchline that instantly lit up the internet. One of the conditions in Trump's new trade deal with the UK, he joked, is that we send Meghan Markle back, but only if she promises to delete her entire Instagram. Again, the audience roared, but behind the laughter was a stinging undertone, a reminder that no matter how polished Meghan's public image may be, her past still follows her. At the same time, President Trump announced a new UK trade agreement. His punchline, all Britain wants in return, is that we hang on to these two. The joke didn't land with everyone. No way, he snapped. I've had enough. And then came the photos, or maybe the memories, because while pictures can be manipulated, the internet, it never forgets, especially when something doesn't feel quite right. That's exactly what happened. When old yacht photos from the early 2000s started making the rounds again, they showed a woman who looked strikingly similar to Meghan relaxing on a luxury boat. Her name wasn't tagged, but sharp-eyed users spotted familiar faces and timelines, just enough breadcrumbs to reignite the rumors. Why was Elon Musk, who's revolutionizing cars and planning trips to Mars, even getting tangled up in Twitter drama? It's like imagining a British prince giving up everything to marry someone from Suits. Oh wait, some online sleuths pointed out connections to Meghan's Suits era. Others noticed the setting, pricey shades, champagne, powerful-looking men. It didn't exactly scream, struggling actress. It whispered something far more strategic, that she had access. And access, critics argue, isn't something you randomly stumble into, it's something you earn or orchestrate. That's why this resurfaced. Controversy cuts so deep. Meghan, they say, didn't accidentally land in royal life. She played the long game, networking, climbing, inserting herself into the right rooms with the right people. Now Harry's across the ocean, unemployed, estranged from his family, raising kids in the US, and some argue trapped. This whole saga isn't just about a single photo, it's about what the photo implies. And when the narrative you promote clashes with the one people start to believe, the fallout can be brutal. Which brings us full circle to Colin Jost and SNL. Subtlety has never been their strong suit, and this time they weren't pulling any punches. In that same SNL segment, Colin Jost took another swipe, this time calling Meghan someone who constantly reshapes her past to suit whoever she's trying to impress. And that one, it hit a nerve because it mirrors exactly what's now being said. All over the internet, online forums are buzzing, Reddit is packed with threads, pulling receipts, using facial recognition metadata, even old yacht party guest lists to piece everything together. But here's the twist, this time it's not the tabloids leading the charge. It's regular people armed with curiosity, computers, and hours of free time digging deep. What's even more unnerving than the resurfaced images is the sudden silence from people who used to be part of Meghan's inner circle, the ones who once bragged about knowing her, who posted selfies with her, or mentioned her in interviews. They're quiet now, some accounts have been wiped clean, some pictures mysteriously disappeared, others show signs of being digitally altered. The emerging theory, this is a calculated effort to contain the damage, methodical, coordinated, and frankly reeking of desperation, and Meghan completely silent. No denials, no Instagram quotes about misinformation, no official statements, nothing. Which is especially odd coming from someone who's previously launched lawsuits, fired off legal warnings, and called out headlines she didn't like. But this time it's just stillness. And in today's hyper-connected world, silence doesn't go unnoticed. In fact, it speaks volumes. The internet isn't great at sitting quietly. It fills that void with suspicion. The lack of response is being read not just as guilt, but as potential confirmation. And the more people uncover, the clearer the picture becomes. Not of a random chapter in Meghan's life, but of a strategic climb. What once looked like a simple reinvention now feels like a carefully planned operation that might have finally run out of room to hide. As more forgotten content resurfaces, people are asking a tougher question. If this part of her past is real, what else might be? For some, the photos didn't come as a shock. They simply confirm what many have long suspected, that Meghan Markle as she exists in the public eye today is the product of a carefully scripted narrative. One photo in particular has taken center stage. It shows a group of wealthy businessmen and influencers mingling on a Mediterranean yacht. And in the middle of it all, a woman who looks almost exactly like Meghan. The photo itself isn't incriminating. No one's doing anything illegal, but it's the context that's raising eyebrows, the date, the company, the crossover with known associates. From her pre-roll days, it all lines up a little too well, making things even more suspicious. That very image, like several others, quietly vanished from public access. Years ago, that quiet erasure only fueled the fire. Then came the allegations talk of Wipe's social media friends who suddenly fell off the map in a slew of non-disclosure agreements reportedly signed in the lead up to her royal engagement. Observers began pointing out how huge parts of her online presence seemed to vanish almost overnight after her relationship with Prince Harry became public. It wasn't just old posts disappearing, it was entire identities. People once publicly tied to Meghan, former co-star stylists, socialites seemed to either go silent or vanish from the picture altogether, and now that eerie silence is becoming deafening. Even her most loyal supporters are finding it harder to defend the carefully crafted story of a bold, self-made woman who shattered expectations, is starting to unravel under the weight of growing suspicions. Was she really the underestimated actress, clawing her way to the top, or was the whole journey far more calculated? That's the debate, taking over podcasts, social media, and comment sections everywhere. Then there's the Prince Andrew connection. For years it lived in the shadows of conspiracy forums, but now it's finding its way into mainstream discussions. A blurry figure in an old party photo, an eyebrow-raising overlap with certain high-profile associates. It's all being combed through like evidence. In a cold case, there's no smoking gun, nothing provable, but again, it's not about solid proof, it's about patterns, and that's what has people unsettled. Critics are pointing out the contradiction. How can someone who speaks so passionately about honesty, transparency, and accountability suddenly go radio silent, especially someone who's known for clapping back at headlines and even suing over minor reporting errors? Yet, when it comes to the resurfaced Yacht rumors and questionable connections, there's been no public response, not even a vague post addressing the speculation. And in today's media environment where authenticity is currency, that silence doesn't come across as grace. It feels like damage control. The timing couldn't be worse. Just as Meghan is attempting to reshape her image with polished interviews, lifestyle ventures, and a refined public presence, the internet is unearthing everything she likely hoped to leave behind. What was once viewed as a powerful rebrand is now being recast as a strategic cover-up. Her message of empowerment is starting to feel like spin. The same audience that once applauded her for defying royal expectations is now asking if it was all just a brilliant PR exercise. And this isn't just about one resurfaced photo, it's the domino effect of unanswered questions. Why were those images scrubbed from existence? Why have past associates gone silent? Why is Meghan suddenly mute when she's usually the first to fight back? Each silence breeds more curiosity, and in the absence of answers, people are creating their own storyline. One of secrecy, erasure, and a past that refuses to be forgotten. Colin Jost. SNL punchline wasn't just a throwaway joke, it pierced the public image of Meghan in real time. The audience laughed, but it wasn't empty laughter, it was the kind that says, "We get it now." A royal figure once seen as untouchable had become a punchline, and not just anywhere but on one of the most influential comedy stages in the world. And once late night television starts cracking jokes, it's no longer just gossip, it becomes part of the culture. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel for future updates. See you in the next video.